I'm Steve Foskett, and this is Worcester By Bike. Good morning and welcome to Worcester By Bike. We're here on Park Ave. Not my least favorite street to ride a bike on. It's really not too bad. It's wide. When you have two lanes, sometimes people give you a little room. Sometimes they don't. But not a street that I sort of look forward to riding on. It gets you everywhere. There are, of course, being Worcester, many ways to get around Park Ave. And today, I think we're going to take one of my favorite little cut-throughs. It is probably one of the most bombed out streets in the history of the city, Beaverbrook Parkway. Don't be fooled by this new pavement stretch here. It's going to get really bad really soon. So join me. Last week, my colleague Nick Katsopoulos had a little article. The city council, some of the councilors are looking to have some speed bumps put in on some shortcut areas, some high traffic areas in the city. What better way than just to abandon a street and let all these craters form, because it's not fast in a car. It's fun on a bike, but if you had to do this in a car, it's going to take you 3 times as long as if you went along Park Ave, which runs parallel to this. It is kind of cool though. You can see how they kind of just topped off the brook. This sort of green space that runs through the middle. It's kind of neat. I don't know if there's ever going to be a plan to redo this, or I don't even know if it's a private street. Private street dangerous. So Beaverbrook Parkway, always fun, but our true destination today is Elm Park. This series has been about visiting all the city parks in the city for the most part. Elm Park is sort of the granddaddy of them all. We're going to head over there. We're going to take a particular interest, obviously, in the Newton Hill section. So here we are, Elm Park. Beautiful. Leaves are changing. There's people here walking around Sunday morning. What else am I going to tell you about Elm Park that you don't already know if you're from Worcester for any amount of time? The iconic bridges, beautiful trees, walkways, nice big playground. It's claimed as one of the earliest instances of a municipality setting aside money for a public park, 1854, I believe. It is beautiful, it's gorgeous, it's very well used and very well taken care of. But for my money, the more interesting section of Elm Park is Newton Hill, right across the street. There are a couple entrances in and around Newton Hill. There's a disc golf course, so there's a hole right along Park Ave. You can hop right in there. This is sort of right behind right alongside the old fire alarm building. This is sort of like a fire road, I'd say, that kind of goes along the bottom. It'll end up going along Pleasant Street. But it's really hilly. I don't know. I always talk about bikeability. I'd say just enjoy a nice walk. I'm walking the bike. I didn't lock it up. There are racks down there, which is nice. So you walk around this lower rim road kind of thing, and there's just little entry points here and there to go up. You just keep going up and up and up, and there's even some stairs here and there that will show you the way. You get to the top and you're rewarded with this nice little area, this nice little summit area. It's gonna be some gorgeous views when these leaves finally fall off. You'll be able to see, all around the city. So thanks for joining us this week. Newton Hill, beautiful, always worth a trip out here. And I would be remiss if I didn't say that the Friends of Newton Hill, a local group that was formed, a non-profit, to sort of bring this park back to its former glory. I wouldn't even say former glory. They really have sort of transformed the park over this. They're the reason that there's disc golf, little fitness area. The trails are very nice. I think it, like a lot of parks in the city, and we've talked about this with several parks, sort of fell out of repair over the years. But Friends of Newton Hill, they've been a driving force in making this park what it is today, which is really, really unique from Elm Park, even though it is part of Elm Park. And they're really they're in a bit of a pickle these days. They've been very vocal about this talk with replacing Doherty High School, which is right next door. It's tucked into the park. That they don't want any more parkland to be taken if they decide to build a new Doherty on the existing site. And it's really been a point of debate. And, it'll be interesting to see how that gets resolved, or if that gets resolved. But Friends of Newton Hill, obviously, they have a really big stake in this, because they're the reason that this is so nice today. So thanks for joining us, Worcester By Bike, and we will see you next week.